first moved to Seoul, it was very hard for us to live here alone, for all of them to let us go, as we all are very familiar. At that time, Jungkook's grandpa would decide that no matter what, the whole family would spend some months or year together in the willow. A few months later, when Jungkook and Dan started going to school, the summer vacation was the time during we decided to spend in the willow. Mom explained, "Wow, that's amazing." They said everything was going as planned, but when Jungkook completed the study and joined the hospital, it's got impossible for all of us to go to the villa together. So that's why, for the past few years, the whole John family spent their time here, in Seoul, at our place. Jungkook uncle can manage the work from there, along with Dan, because they have quite a great work phase for the company. Or sometimes, if anything happen need their presence, they go back for few days. That's great. But when they are coming, Mom, they question. In the evening, they informed me the last night about their plan. Mom replied, "Oh, I have to do so many things, Mom. Please guide us as well. If you want me to do anything, I want to help you." They said excitedly. Obviously, without my son's help, how can a mother would complete her work? Mom said with a smile. And Theon, they said, "I want to say something. I hope you will understand." Mom said, "Yes, Mom." They said, "You will have to shift to your actual room, Jungkook's room." Mom took a deep breath and continued, "I know, it's going to be too difficult for you to knowing that when Jungkook..." Before Mom could complete her sentence, they placed his hand on Mom's hand and said with a smile, "I understand, Mom. What are you trying to say? It's okay." Jungkook's room. Jungkook was sitting on the bed, reading a medical journal in his hand. Mom came inside along with Minji and went toward the closet. "Minji, make some space here and adjust Theong's stuff carefully," Mom said to Minji. "I understood," Minji replied. Jungkook looked above for that and shook his head, having a sign Mom had told him a few minutes ago that they would be shifted here to his room today. "Please, keep his thing in the place. I don't want him to get upset," Mom said to Minji and nodded her head. After some time, the driver and Minji bought Theong's stuff, and Theong joined them as well. "Thank you. I'll arrange your things. You both can go now. Mom might need you," Theong said. Both nodded and left their room. They arranged the stuff. All that time, Jungkook was engrossed in there and pretending that he doesn't know about what's happening around him. "Oh, they're here," Job said hurriedly to the door. The rest of the family followed him. They could hear that the third of the guard room for the shut, and after dinner, everyone retired to their own room. They entered the new room with iron in his hand. Jungkook was sitting on the bed, watching the football match. "Ayn, Uma will sleep with you from now on," Theong said, placed Ayn on the bed and settled beside her. "Let's get you ready for the bed," they said to Ayn. He cleaned up Ayn first and changed his dress to her nightsuit. After a while, Jungkook switched off the TV and went toward the bed. When he was about to sit down on the bed, they shrieked, "What are you doing?" "What am I doing?" They countered, caution, and willing eyebrows. "Ayn, I won't let you sleep on the floor with your daddy. You can stay here, okay?" They said in an amused tone, looking at Ayn, ignoring Jungkook. He looked at him for the corner of his eyes and realized that he was looking at him. "This is my bed. Why would I sleep on the floor?" They reacted in that tone. "Because You don't have a couch in your room. So there's only one option, sleeping on the floor. I know, being a gentleman, you will allow me to sleep on the floor. So I'll give you the honor, they replied, and buttoned unshirt. In your dreams, Taekook said, stubbornly, and settled down on the bed. He lied down, picked up Ain, and placed her on her abdomen. You're so beastly. They started in annoyance. Nothing is impossible for Kim Taeyong. I'll sleep on the floor if you're not going to. They said dramatically and flipped his hair. They went to the washroom, and after some time he came back into the room, clad in that night pajamas. They picked up two extra bed sheets and a pillow from the cupboard. He spread down on the bedsheet on the floor. They started to go to the bed when Jungkook grabbed Taeyoung's arm and pulled him on his chest and said, "Where are you running? Sleep on the bed." He said no. But he didn't stay on Jungkook's chest even for a minute. And lying on the bed, Jungkook looked at Tae and said with a smile, "What happened now? If he is stubborn, then he should know. I am too," they muttered. "Why are you behaving as you never sleep here before?" Jungkook remarked after some time. That's it, the topic Taeyeon wanted to ignore. A blush of embarrassment or appear on his face. They quickly closed his eyes tightly and closed his face with a bedsheet in which they had wrapped himself earlier. The only reason why he didn't want to sleep on the bed was that he wanted to prove that he's not, and the label he has given himself in his mind. Jungkook wanted to stop him, but he had understood that he is not going to listen to him, followed by a long period of tossing and turning and rearranging the pillow again and again. They finally fell into a deep slumber. Ain was asleep by now. Jungkook was trying to sleep, but his mind was restless over Taeyeong's childish. He opened his eyes and looked at Tae, sleeping on the floor uncomfortably. They fetched a breath and stood up. "Taeyong," he said again, to which they groaned. And in his sleep, heavy sleeper, he thought at start of Tae, "Wait, now I have two kids to take care of." He muttered and shook his head. He placed Tae up with his hand and marched toward his bed, placed Tae on the bed. The eyelids slowly opened, the usual time they always wake up. He blinked and dragged his feet out of the bed and was going to the washroom. While rubbing his onto his knees, they stumbled over something. The room was dimly light, and a careful look at the floor and realized it was a pillow. Last night, memory was flooded back into the mind. They moved his gaze toward the bed, where Ain and Jungkook was soundly asleep, and then the floor. "Did I sleepwalk?" they muttered with their blinded eyes. "How possible?" they said, with his on, and they face-palmed himself and went toward the washroom. After some time came to the washroom and slept tiptoe in that dim light room. He proceeded toward the dressing table. "Pat is still wet dripped here with the towel. Let's skip the morning walk today. I'm still tired," he himself said. Look at Ain and Jungkook, who was supposed to sleep. He carefully ran onto his side and stared at Ain. A smile would creep on his face, thinking on the way Ain has brought color to his life for the first time in life. He was supposed to share the room with someone for a slightly longer time period, but he was already loving it. He was tired of being alone. The moment he gazed at Tae, his features were much softer in sleep, the line that usually in his brows replaced by youthful appearance. He shifted his eyes toward the wall in front of him, which was filled with Jungkook's and Onun's picture. In every picture they were smiling, the kind of smile which reached one's eyes. The flood of his thoughts suddenly stopped. An idea popped into his mind. He looked at Jungkook with a smirk and muttered, "Mr. John Jungkook, you owe me one."